The Auction 2024 event is in full swing, and today we're going to have a look at the leak because it looks like it is very accurate, because it's 2 out of 5 and both are already correct. Now, as you probably know, currently we already had the T22 medium and the BC72-1, which, by the way, I cannot really recommend because A, it is very expensive, and B, let's be honest, it is just a side grade to the BC75. Sorry I didn't do a video, I didn't feel like it today. Whoopsie. In any case, for the people which want to see the reviews as quickly as possible at the beginning of the auction in Asia, they need to watch the bigger community contributors, aka Skill and QB and I guess Marty. I'm not entirely sure if he does it because I don't watch Czech content, so I can't say for sure. But what I can say is that currently we have CCs, which are the normal, and there you have the content creators, the big boys. They have those tanks already on their special CC accounts, hence why they are able to pump out videos at 3 o'clock in the morning, Central European time. Which also means that if you want to know exactly what is coming to the EU server or NA, you have a look at them and their video. Suffice to say, it depends if you like them or not, but that is up to you to decide. In any case, the leak says, and again, the leak is now already fairly accurate. We don't look at this. And the leak is provided by our happy friends and nice friends from Ricochet Info. Which they took it from What Express, but whatever. At least it is somewhere on the EU page. Now, as you could see, the T22 medium has been already released. The BC72 has already been released. Next up should be the TL7 or the ISU 122.2 or the WZ 111 Qilin. Again, this still might be subject to change because Wargaming is like, oh, I don't like that you leaked this stuff already. Who knows? We will see sooner or later. In any case, let's have first a look at the TL7. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I did have a look at it on my YouTube channel. If not, very quick summary. I don't like the tank. Why? It's a tier 9 TD with very poor DPM because it's an autoloader. Now, this might sound interesting because, let's be honest, there's also another autoloader on tier 8 by from the Americans. It's a medium and I forgot the name. So write in the comment section below what the name is, remind me, and boost engagement. This tank is basically worse even though it's a tier higher in my opinion. The DPM is just plain old bad. You can see 1700. And your clip potential is 1440 damage in 6.9 nice seconds. But that is not good. Like, what can you clip with this damage? And the problem is because then you start to reload for so long that anybody can really out DPM you and kill you because you don't have a lot of hit points, 1500 to be precise, because it's a TD. So now you might say, okay, it's a TD. I can't push because that is, I think, the brain or thought process of a lot of players, which might not be that good in World of Tanks. Sorry. But the problem is the aim time is kind of poor, 2.6 seconds. The accuracy is poor with 0.4. And the accuracy on the move and the return traverse is also poor. So you're trying to snipe now with a tank which has bad gun handling. So that is off the table. The mobility is also not that good. It's decent, but it's not that good. And armor-wise, it looks strong on the turret, but the hull is weak. The side hull, 50 millimeters at least, it's something, and you have a huge cupola. And it's just very, very small. Small boy. Which means there are a lot of internal equipment or internal modules which are packed together, meaning you might get burned, or engine, or ammo rack, or burn, or ammo rack, or crew, and you're dead. Needless to say, it doesn't matter with what this tank is coming. I don't like it. As far as I'm aware, it came in the Shamrock or the Waffenträger boxes, but I never play it because it's just plain old boring or even bad. However, the next vehicle which is coming is the ISU 122.2. And let's put it that way. I have some birdies which may or may not have chirped to me that this tank is surprisingly very good. Like, it feels a lot of fun to play. Again, this is their opinion, those little birdies' opinions, but apparently it is a lot of fun to use. Now, what does the ISU 122 has? It technically has the highest alpha of any tier 8 tank which isn't already in the game, because it's a double-barreled ISU 122 with a rear-facing fighting compartment. You have 2340 DPM. Luckily for our for the GOAT Quickie Baby, you don't need to put in a rammer, so you can always use Vents, because then you actually boost your reload as well, which is pretty neat on this thing. You have 10-second reload for 390 alpha, so with Vents probably 9.75, and cruise skills, so 9.5 maximum with cruise skills, etc., which is pretty strong. And you have the ability to take 2 seconds, do a double shot, and again, 2 times 390 alpha. That is gonna hurt. That's 780 potential. And the thing is, you don't really, how should I say, lose that much out of it, because the lock time until you are able to start reloading again is 1 second. So you technically only lose 1 second on the next shot again. So it's really good for peeking that way, you know? After 11 seconds, you have another shot ready to slam somebody. And as you could see, by the way, the gun handling is better across the board than a tier 7. Which is a little bit odd, but that is what it is, you know? Mobility is a little bit worse, but again, this is a tier 8 tank destroyer, by the way, no? Don't forget that, tier 8 tank destroyer. Its mobility for that regard is actually pretty decent, and it goes 20 in reverse. And thanks to the fact that you don't have to use a rammer, because it can't use a rammer, you can go for something like Vents, Turbo, and improved rotation mechanism, for example, or Vents, Turbo, and what's it called? Improved aiming unit. There we go. Or maybe HP, because it also has pretty decent HP. The thing it doesn't have is obviously gun depression, because let's be honest, in Russia you're not allowed to be depressed. And funnily enough, armor. If we look at it in the normal model, you can see it is 190mm thick, which sounds pretty good, but don't forget, most tier 8 mediums have around 200 plus pen. Let's look at a Progetto. Yes, but Burask doesn't, but they can pen that. And it is flat. Well, not entirely flat, but this little bit of angle doesn't really offset anything thanks to normalization. Then you have 100mm on your engine deck, or rather engine front, which means that you might also stop burning, because again, your engine and your fuel tank and your transmission is in the front. Transmissions don't burn, but with the engine and most likely fuel tanks in the front, you might burn here and there. Side armor, 50, 65, not too bad. 35, not too bad, but again, you might get pent there. And you just saw it before. If it plays against itself, it's 100 to 99% pen ratio. But it has almost 260mm of base pen, and with heat it has 300mm of pen, which is kinda insane, I have to be honest. Like, this thing apparently is going to be the pickup for the next for this auction event, if it really comes. And lastly, the WZ-111 Qilin. Honestly, I'm killing to try and make a joke about this tank, but there is no point in it. It's a WZ-111 5A, but it breathes fire. Huzzah. That's it. It is also technically a crew trainer, but that's it. So if this tank comes, you don't need it. It's like, it's literally FOMO bait, which has already been in those kind of FOMO bait events for like 3 times. And you can't use it in Onslaught because it's a reward vehicle, so that is off the table. You should be able to use it in Clan Wars if there's going to be a Clan Wars event, so that might be something for you. But that's it. Like, in Clan Wars, what are you using? 277 if you need quick tanks, or a 260. That's it. If you need something slow, Super Conqueror. The main issue with the WZ-111 is even though it 100% isn't out of meta, it is decently quick. It has 7 degrees of gun depression with a very strong turret. Yes, you do have cupolas, but very strong turret. Great DPM with 490 alpha. Great pen with heat, at least. Like, it has, I think, 340, if I'm not... Yeah, 340. That's like one of the best heavy tank heat pens. The main problem this tank really has is that the turret is slightly easier to penetrate than the 277's turret, and the 277, as far as I'm aware, has better gun handling. The main drawback of the 111.5A and the 111 Qilin is its gun handling, and this may or may not break the tank for you. But that's everything I'm having for you today. Again, thanks so much for the people at Ricochet Info for providing this leak. And let's see if tomorrow it's going to be correct. You will see at 3 AM Central European time on channels like Skill for LTU, Quickie Baby. Those are the big ones which just come to my mind. My name is RagingRaptor, and if you want for me to also be this successful, share this video, like and subscribe, and I see you around. Goodbye.